Hey guys, I want to talk about self-care, even in the trauma and the abuse of getting over somebody and healing yourself in peace. That doesn't mean go start dating people. It means work on yourself more and figure out why you had those toxic traits to begin with and got hooked onto a trauma-bound relationship. It is time to start showing that you are more important and God above all, and you need to fix yourself and love yourself before you can start dating so you don't bring your baggage onto the next. And this is how you start. Self-care is the most important. Your family, as in your children, are most important. The man in your life that's been hurting you for so many years or just recently, it's time to let them go for a reason, because they have become making you the monster, and you've had to show your beast, haven't you, like me. And it's not about me. It's about self-care. It's about loving your children, and it's also about taking care of yourself, because if you let them break you down to nothing, the entity of the demonic sea that is on your husband or wife or girlfriend or boyfriend will attach to you too. That's what they do. So I would like you to look here. It's a simple face cleaning. I use yogurt. You can use Greek yogurt. And I use honey. I use my own serums that we make, and you can make your own serums through botanicals and frankincense. And I also grab a little bit of aloe vera gel that I've had here for a little bit. I also like to use sodium lactate, and that's because I like to put a little bit of salt in my stuff, and also it gives extra moisturizing. I also like to use wildflower honey from Three Bears in Alaska and Wasilla, and I put this all together and I make a facial with it, and I put it on until it dries, and then I wash it off, and I take care of myself. I get up in the morning, I start to work out when I'm cleaning my dishes, and I do a lot of things for myself. And I noticed ever since I started really working on myself, he has started working on himself. It's like a competition for him. And all he does is put money in my face for the past, from when I was bipolar and hypervigilantly spending because he was cheating on me and I was punishing him. And I paid for that sin. And I've been dealing with it ever since then. And God has told me to forgive myself, and so has my therapist. And I have. He's the one that likes to bring up money all the time in my face, how I did this to him and I did this to our family and our daughter. And he won't let it go. He told me he forgave me, but every time we get in a fight, he always brings up all the money that I messed up on our family and made us lose out on thousands. And I did. He's right. And I screwed up. And I'm learning from my mistakes. And I was angry. And there's no excuse anymore. And I take full responsibility for what I've done. Now I'm telling you the truth of why I did it. I did it because he was cheating on me with women, and he got busted through his Twitter page, and he won't admit to it. He's been busted looking at 4chan on women's asses and their tits. And he's been busted doing porn when he wasn't getting anything from me. And ever since I went celibate and stopped giving him love for quite a bit of while now, he has acted out on his part. He has treated me like shit. Anytime that I'm way down, he's way up. Anytime I'm up, he's way down. And I'm tired of the multi-manipulation tactic that he's been doing. It is really sad when somebody triggers you into an abusive state where you're screaming and acting like the narcissist. And it's really sad because they do that to manipulate you and take everything. And every time we get in a fight and he thinks it's going to end, he ends it first. And he sits there and threatens me with childcare, or not childcare, with taking the baby away and telling me, I wonder how the courts are going to deal with this. Every time. So I am telling you guys, speak out. Do not be afraid. Let God be your shield, and let him be your voice. And don't be afraid of the monster that is standing in front of you. Because remember David and Goliath? Do you think David was afraid? Sure shit, but he had God on his side. And he let that fear turn into a beautiful love that God taught him how to pick up the fucking sword. Now, people, pick up your fucking sword and do not be afraid anymore. And I don't care if you have to stab them face to face and tell them exactly who they are. And men and women that act like this, I am tired of you telling us that we think you're nothing but a paycheck. Then start showing us exactly what a true man is and not a boy. Because I'm tired of that man that I've been with for 24 years, from all the way from the bottom to the top now, telling me all I treat him as is a paycheck. No, I'm tired of having to feel like I have to beg for everything. All I ever asked him was for land and a new vehicle and an RV a while back. And this was before the new vehicle when mine wasn't breaking down yet. I wanted an RV for our family and to start my business. And he didn't want to be a part of it. It sent me into a turmoil. It sent me to run away from him with the kid. And it sent me to lose my fucking mind even more. And he can sit there and say, oh, it was your father wound, I thought. Or, oh, I thought my mother triggered you. People, I want you to know now that all of this can all sit here in a big cloud and fuck you all up. And it is time for people to wake up and see that you are in an abusive relationship and you are trauma bounded to a motherfucker that does not give a shit about you. He only cares what you can bring to the table. He only cares what he can siphon off you. And once you cut the supply off, you can start seeing him show his bloody fucking ass. Please take a stand for yourself and start rising up. Start following God. Start going into a church that is all about Jesus. Not a church that is all about themselves and their money and their bullshit. Do more charity work. Give out money to the poor. And if you feel like you're going to be enabling them through drug habits and their other habits, then give them food and clothes and shoes. Love them in the way Jesus would love them. Listen to their affirmations. Listen to their problems like Jesus would. Start acting like Jesus. And if a man or woman ever tells you that you're the one that can't feel and your heart is closed off, start questioning within your own walls, not gaslighting yourself, but start seeing what is the problem. And if you come to conclusion that you are not closed off, and you are talking to a therapist and they say that's a bullshit tactic skill of manipulation at its finest, then you go and get smarter than that one and you start reading books about narcissistic divorce, narcissistic parent guides about how you have to co-parent, and you start hitting them back with the same shit they're doing to you. Start learning to protect your energy, people, because he has been siphoning me for a long time. I was 140 pounds before I got pregnant with Miss Aurelia. After all of this is said and done, I am now 242, losing all the weight that I had from the baby, yes, but also from a man that discarded me when I was pregnant. He stopped loving me. He stopped holding me at night as soon as I conceived Aurelia, and I wasn't even that big. He says I blew up like a balloon and he couldn't take it anymore, and I wasn't the same. And he literally treated me like shit. He only opened the doors when people were around. And then he told me after I had the baby that this was all going to stop. No more princess treatment. And he said, oh, I never said that. He turned a lot of shit around on me last night and said he never said any of it. It was all in my head. Another manipulation tactic that they do by changing the narrative. Never let a man change the narrative, or a woman change your narrative when you know for a fact that this shit has been happening for years and you have a good mind. I want you to know that that is the truth, and you need to fight back even more, because the enemy is at your gate and they are trying to stop you from whatever God has created for you, and that is the truth. Please, people, fight for your lives, because right now is the most end times of your lives that God is showing us. It's getting serious. The enemy is fighting all God's children and all the chosen ones of the army. He is definitely coming after them even more. And now that my mind is so tight and so wide awake, he cannot get to me anymore. And he never will again. And yeah, I might become homeless after all these years that I fought. And I might have a fight with my daughter. And it might be hell on wheels for me, because I lost my temper for so long and tried to run from an enemy that I couldn't see. And now I understand why, because it was my husband that triggered me with his mother. And they pushed me to extremities where I got fucking abusive like my real father did to us. And all my trigger wounds of my mother wound, my father wounds came out. And now I'm finally realizing it, and I'm working on myself. And I'm not doing the things that I used to do. And I'm not flipping out or losing my mind from overstimulation. I want you guys to know that you're not alone. And I'm very much here for you. And I will always be here if you need to talk to somebody. I have been alone for so long. I have no mother or father anymore. They disowned me thanks to the man that said he loved me. I don't have a sister because she's just like him, very narcissistic. My brother left me. All of them have left me. They don't give a shit. They think that I am the problem. They think that I am crazy. And guess what? I am crazy just like Christ. And he was Christ conscious, which makes you act crazy because you're tired of the bullshit and the demonic and the war. Spiritual warfare is real people, and I've been going through it my whole life and up until even now, and it's gotten worse and worse and worse. And that's fine. I'm ready for the war. Is he?